How's it going, everyone? Welcome to this video. In this video we're going to look at how to paint this Horus Heresy Dark Angel. It is very straightforward, very easy to paint. It only needs a little bit of brush control and good edge highlighting. Dark Angel's color scheme is pretty simple. It's just black, silver, and some details in red. That's why this video is fairly short, but I hope you found it informative and helpful. I'm going to start with a prime model in black, and for that I'm using Rust-Oleum primer. You can use any primer that you like. I personally like this one because it's cheap and it's easy to use. I'm going to start by giving the model a layer of black. I'm using Vallejo model color black. You can use Abaddon black. Whatever black color you prefer, just to give the model a layer of this color. Remember always to thin down your paint, and we're doing this because we don't want to over prime. And there's always going to be some places that the primer didn't hit and didn't cover very well. And also the primer and the paint have different finishes, and if we mess up we want to be able to go back and fix it. So because it's black, we don't have to shade or anything, we go straight to the edge highlighting. I'm using Dark Reaper and a fine detail brush. I'm also thinning down the paint with a little of drying retardant, so that the paint stays wet for longer and I can edge highlight a little bit more before the tip of my brush starts drying. So keep an eye on the tip of your brush and make sure that it doesn't dry. Clean up your brush in your water every couple minutes to make sure that no paint stays on the bristles and you can give a good edge highlight. Once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and use Dawnstone. This is going to be a second edge highlight, and this is going to be more focused on the edges most exposed to light and the sharpest ones. So this is going to be a little bit finer edge highlight. When we did the previous one, I didn't bother too much on making it super thin because I wanted to show below the layer of Dawnstone that I'm applying right now. So I'm trying to give very fine edge highlights on places that are sharpest and most exposed to light. So that's it. That's the armor done, and we're going to go ahead and paint all of the silver areas with Leadbelcher. Most of this model I painted with a fine detail brush because it's easier to paint the trim on the shoulder pads and the little details with it. Some details are bigger and you could use a bigger brush, but you can totally paint this miniature with just a detail brush. And I'm basing all of these areas with silver Leadbelcher, being very careful not to paint on the black. If you do, just go back and use the black that you used to base the color and just fix it. So now that that's done, I'm going to use Mephiston red, and with this we would paint all of the little details that you want in red. There's not a lot, just the eyes, and I chose a little red like gear symbol on the backpack to be in red. The models, if you get the special shoulder pads, they will have more details in red to paint. You can paint them the same way. Next, I'm using Nuln oil. With this color I'm going to shade most of the silver areas. The ones that are open, like the elbow there, you don't have to shade. And places that are big and smooth, you don't have to shade, but places that are more intricate with crevices and stuff, those you want to shade. The reason I don't shade the whole model is because the metallic sheen gets lost in the wash. It turns dull and with the matte medium of the wash, so you don't want to overuse it. You want to keep the original shine of the Leadbelcher because it looks better when you don't shade at all, in my opinion. Next I'm going to use Runefang steel, and with this I'm going to edge highlight all of the silver areas, pretty much just picking up the edges on bigger parts and picking almost the whole thing on the trimming on the shoulder pads and the little dots on the shoulder pad and stuff like that. Just pick the highest places where light shines on them to make them pop a little bit more. And that's pretty much it. Once it's done, we're going to highlight the red with Wild Rider Red. In the eyes, I'm just going to pick the half front part of the eye, as always. Adjusting the paint on my fingernail, using it as a secondary palette just to make sure that the tip of my brush is sharp. And the other parts, I'm just picking the erased parts or edges, which is most of the symbol. And then I'm going to use Fire Dragon Bright. This is fiery glow on the lenses on the very front part. Just a little dot on the very front of the lenses, and that's it. To finish it off, I'm going to use White Scar. Just one dot of white with the fine detail brush, making sure that your tip is very sharp and wet. And just touch the lens on the back part, and that's it. And this is the finished model. I have to say I really enjoyed painting this model. It's very easy to paint and it looks very close to what Forge World has on their page. You don't need to buy many paints. You can pull the color scheme very quickly. The model looks pretty cool though, and I hope you like it. So that's it. I hope you found this tutorial informative and helpful. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. You stayed. Great. Thank you very much for watching my video, and if you would like to further support my channel, you can become my Patreon on Patreon. You can pledge as little as $1 a month, and you are helping me create more and better content. If you can't, that's fine, because you're helping my channel a lot just for watching and sharing, but you can read all of the details if you follow the link in the description below. I hope you can spare $1 to make this hobby of mine a job for which I can get paid. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.